Picture this, no fridge, not just for a day, but forever. Sounds like a plot for a horror movie, doesn't it? I mean, where would you keep your pizza leftovers or your secret ice cream stash? For most of us, that's a straight up nightmare. But for the Amish, it's just another day in the neighborhood. They've turned what we call apocalypse living into an art form, preserving meat without a single flicker of electricity. Spoiler alert, their methods are so genius, they might just make your $2,000 stainless steel fridge look like a glorified box of cold air. In a world where even our toasters have Wi Fi, the Amish stand out like that one friend who refuses to get a smartphone. They stick to old school techniques that have been passed down from their great great grandparents. No fancy gadgets, no high tech wizardry, just good old fashioned self sufficiency. And when it comes to meat preservation, they're basically the Jedi Masters. They don't just keep their food edible for a few days, they make it last and taste better. Yeah, you heard that right. Better. Have you ever had ham that lasts longer than your freezer burned popsicles? Well, the Amish have. Honestly speaking, the first time I tried Amish cured ham, I was a bit skeptical. I mean, no fridge? Really? I expected it to taste like, well, old shoe leather. But when I took that first bite, my mind was blown. It was smoky, savory, and it somehow tasted fresher than anything I'd ever pulled out of my own freezer. I'm telling you, these people don't just preserve meat, they perform culinary miracles. One of their secret weapons is salt. Yep, that little shaker on your dining table. It's been helping humanity preserve food for centuries. The Amish have taken this ancient preservative and turned it into an art form. They practically treat their meat like it's getting a full on spa treatment. Think of salt as the meat's personal bodyguard. It kicks moisture and bacteria to the curb, keeping the meat fresh and flavorful for months. It's like seasoning and security in one. Now, using salt isn't just about sprinkling a little here and there and calling it a day. Oh no, it's a whole ritual. The Amish go all in, giving the meat what can only be described as a salt massage. They coat every inch, every nook and cranny. It's like the meat is getting the 5-star spa treatment of its life, minus the cucumbers on the ice. Fun fact, the phrase worth your salt comes from a time when salt was more valuable than gold. Roman soldiers were even paid in salt. Can you imagine? Here's your salary, Jim. Enjoy your 5 pounds of salt. I'm not saying I turned down a paycheck in salt, but I might have a hard time explaining that to the landlord. But wait, salt isn't enough to keep things fresh forever, especially if you live in a place where the weather's as unpredictable as my appetite at 2 a.m. That's where the Amish level up. They add smoke to the mix. Smoking meat isn't just about making it taste like you grilled it over a campfire all weekend. It's actually one of the oldest and most effective ways to preserve food. Walk into an Amish kitchen and you'll see smoked hams and sausages hanging from the ceiling like culinary masterpieces. These aren't just for decoration, each one has been carefully smoked to last for months. And the flavor? Forget it. It's like a symphony of deliciousness. Meanwhile, when I tried smoking meat in my backyard, I accidentally threw a neighborhood bonfire party. No smoked ribs, just a bunch of disappointed people with marshmallows. Oops. But when the Amish really want to make things interesting, they pull out another preservation trick, sugar curing. Yes, you heard that right, sugar. It's not just for cookies and cakes anymore. They mix sugar with salt and give the meat a sweet makeover. Imagine bacon that's both savory and sweet. It's like candy for carnivores. And the best part? This stuff lasts for months. If I could get my hands on sugar cured bacon every morning, I'd be on cloud 9 and my breakfast game would be next level. But wait, there's more. Just when you think they've run out of tricks, the Amish whip out their secret weapon, vinegar. Not just for salad dressing, my friends. Vinegar brining is a game changer, especially when it comes to pickling meats like sausages and fish. The acidity keeps bacteria at bay while adding that tangy punch that'll make your taste buds dance the tango. I remember my grandma once tried pickling chicken. Let's just say the results were a little too experimental for the family. But the Amish? They've got vinegar brining down to a science. No funky aftertaste, just tangy, delicious meat that can sit in your pantry for weeks. Now, if you think we're done, you clearly don't know the Amish. Their next trick? Lard. Yep, good old rendered lard. This stuff is like the duct tape of meat preservation. By pouring melted lard over cooked meat, they create an airtight seal that can keep it fresh for 6 months or more. It's basically medieval Tupperware. Who needs fancy plastic containers when you've got a jar of lard? I once thought storing meat in lard would make my kitchen look like a grease explosion waiting to happen. But the Amish, they make it look classy. Plus, cracklings, those crispy bits left over from rendering lard, are like a hidden bonus snack. Win win. So, next time you open your fridge and see a forgotten leftover lurking in the back, just remember the Amish don't even need that fridge. They've got centuries of food preserving wisdom on their side. And honestly, with their salt, smoke, and lard game so strong, I might just throw out my freezer and give it a try. Well, maybe after I finish this ice cream.